Right now, you are wearing clothes. You put them on this morning without a second thought. You would feel deeply uncomfortable leaving your home without them. But the real answer for why is far stranger than you think. And it begins with a tiny creature still living on your body right now. Every other primate on this planet is covered in thick fur. Chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans. They do not need clothes because they already have insulation built in. But somewhere between 1 and 2 million years ago, your ancestors started losing that fur. The leading theory is simple. Your ancestors moved onto open savanna. Running long distances to hunt meant overheating. And so the body evolved to shed fur and grow more sweat glands instead. A hairless body under the African sun loses heat far more efficiently than a furred one. You became the naked ape because nakedness made you faster, and faster meant survival. But losing your fur also made you exposed. Bare skin became a target for lice, ticks, fleas, and mites. These parasites do not just cause irritation, they carry disease. They cause infection. Over thousands of generations, individuals with less fur had lower parasite loads and a meaningfully higher chance of surviving long enough to reproduce. Researcher Mark Pagel at the University of Reading proposed that losing body hair was partly about shedding the environment parasites thrive in. Bare skin was not just a cooling adaptation, it was a form of hygiene. And then the climate changed. Around 170,000 years ago, a cold event swept across Africa. A body built for shedding heat was suddenly a liability at night, so something had to change. This is the moment most researchers believe clothing was invented. Not as fashion, not as modesty, as survival against the cold your own evolution had made you vulnerable to. But how do scientists know when this happened? You cannot carbon date a piece of animal skin. The answer came from the most unexpected place imaginable. Lice. The human body louse lives exclusively in clothing. It evolved specifically to live in the seams of garments. And because it is genetically distinct from the head louse, scientists can calculate exactly when the two species split apart. That split tells you when clothing was invented. In 2011, a team led by David Reed at the University of Florida estimated that body lice diverged from head lice somewhere between 83,000 and 170,000 years ago. The lice in your ancestors' shirts are older than any cave painting, older than any known burial ritual. You were clothed before you were, in many ways we define it, fully human. And almost as soon as your ancestors began wearing animal skins, they started decorating them. Ochre pigments, shell beads, geometric engravings. The impulse that made you choose what you are wearing today. The subtle signal you send without a word. That impulse is older than agriculture by tens of thousands of years. Your body lost its fur to run faster. That nakedness made you a target. And when the planet cooled, you did what your species has always done when biology reaches its limit. You improvised. You took the skin of another animal and wore it as your own. And 170,000 years later, you still do. Every single morning. The clothes you put on today are not a social convention layered over an animal body. They are one of the oldest survival strategies your species has ever invented. Tonight, when you take them off, you are undoing something your ancestors created just to stay alive. And now you know exactly why they did it.